What's up, motherfuckers? Hey, what's up? It's Warpo from the Warpo Show. I'm here live in the studio. Yeah, I'm down in the fucking lair, and tonight I thought that I would go live and see who's out there. You guys, I'll give you a little tour of the studio here. All right, sorry, this is the main control room of the studio, and this is Red Eye Studio, and I'm Warpo from the Chemical Clowns, and thanks for watching my show. And to all you people that subscribed, I have 300 subscribers, wanting it to go up. I need at least 1,000, so that's my goal. So let's take a little look here in the studio, Red Eyes. Red Eye Studio, here we go. Got some old school synth. That's the Van Halen wall. And then we're cruising over here. Got some old school stuff. Cruising over through here. Here's the Motley Crue wall. This is a cool Dracula I picked up. Two bookmark ends. One is here, and one is right over here. I like two of them, but I might give one of them to Zetro from the Toxic Vault. Because fucking he rules, and it'd be cool to see that on his show from the Chemical Clowns. What do you think? Pretty cool or what? Yeah, today I'm going to be recording the new Chemical Clown song. This one's called Twatty, and it's really funny. And it cracks me up, and hopefully it'll crack you up, because usually things that crack me up cracks you up, but I have a really dark sense of humor, so we'll see. Looking back over here, I have my drum machine, but I have my whole control room over there, which I'm going to show you here pretty quick. But check this out. That thing's pretty sick, huh? And this is the thrash metal wall over here. You know, it's growing into some old school shit like some Exodus. There's my buddy Rick Hunolt from Exodus. Got some Slayer going. There's some old school Testament when they're called Legacy. There's when Kerry King was in Megadeth. There's Dave Lombardo Smoking Out. Old school Mustaine. Yeah, just a lot of cool old thrash here. I always pay homage to all the people that inspired me as a kid. There's some hardcore Mick Mars. I like a lot of Mirrors, if you haven't noticed. Mirrors always make a room cool. Cruising through here. Oh, check out my high heel chair. This thing's fucking sick. So if you come down to the studio, you could hang out with me in the high heel chair, the leopard skin high heel chair. And then cruising back over through here, we're getting to some old school Morrison stuff. Oh, check out my door. My goal is to make the whole thing stickers. Pop this open. Here's a old school Morrison banner. So this is my first band, Morrison. We were Fry Metal. We fucking ruled. Cut out 2 CDs. And fuck yeah. So here's some bunch of my CDs up there behind that Kiss album. There's some shit from the Warpo show I have stashed up there in the corner. This is my ex-wife's very first guitar. She kept let me have it still, but old school stuff. There's a case to my Flying V, my very first Jackson. That's an old school Motley Crue tapestry right there. There's the first print off from the Chemical Clown stickers. I hung it upside down just to be a dick. And then just lots of movie homage, little things of movies that ruled, you know. That I liked. Cruising back over here, here's some old school Gore photos. There's me with Beefcake, the bass player, smoking a bowl. I'm covered in Gore blood, that's why I'm all red. I had the band sign all these too after, you know, I caught them on the next tour. There's me back when I was a kid with long hair. There's Flatus Maximus, the guitarist, and he signed it to Pee Wee from Flatus Maximus. This is a badass one. Fucking Odorous Arongas. I took this live shot in Arizona, but I had him sign it in Vegas. And if you see Dave Brocky, Odorous Arongas here, without his costume on, there he is, shredding his Odorous. But this is me and him over in Las Vegas when he saved us from the cops, and that's a long, different story. If you message me in the comments, I'll give you a little recap of kind of what it was. But everyone feel free to chime into some old school shit. I'm just seeing who's all there, who's checking things out with me. And that is Odorous Arungus. And he signed that for me after he saved us from the cops in Vegas. I was a kid, you could tell with my long hair and shit. Fucking ruled. And then cruising back over here, we got all kinds of Chemical Clown CDs. So if anybody wants to get some Chemical Clown CDs, I have first album, Obsessed with Your Big Boobies, and the second album, Polka Dots That Rot. And yeah, so getting back over here, here's the very first Chemical Clowns ever. So that's me and Antoine, my buddy Antoine, and he made this for me because it's some old school photos. Our very first show was at Alice Cooperstown, and it doesn't exist anymore, but it's owned by Alice Cooper. And if I zoom in for you, excuse me, you could see me playing right there, and there's Antoine in the background, and you could see our Chemical Clowns tapestry, but above it, you'll notice it says Cooperstown. That was a fucking fun gig. And Vincent Fernier, he's his stage name, Alice Cooper, you guys all know him by. He totally takes care of the bands. He like totally gave us a great freaking meal and badass backstage area. And there was no place cooler for our first show ever than Cooperstown. Oh, here's some old school shit right here. This is me with Anthrax, Scott Ian, and then Nuclear Assault and Danny Loker. So here's me with Danny Loker at the Nile Theater in Mesa, and he signed that one for me too. Scratch, my buddy that plays bass with us, he got us kicked out of the fucking show because he was trying to drink underage, and we had to sneak back in. But there's me with Billy Milano. There's Scott Ian and I and Charlie Benante. Check out the tour bus with the sunset in the background in Arizona. I just thought that was a good shot. And Scotty and Charlie are snobs, and they always hide out in the bus. So it was hard to get a picture with them, but I'm pretty sneaky with shit like that. Cruising back over here, more homage to cool videos and different movies I thought ruled. And then here's the Chemical Clowns, motherfuckers. Woo. So that's our banner. Let me take you to Eroticide wall really quick. This is Eroticide wall. So a lot of people may not know I'm the Sexorcist, but this is basically the Eroticide mask. This is Methane. That's Troy's very first mask. He's the original bass player of Eroticide. And then Charlie, the lead singer, made me this mask, and it lights up with red lights, and it's from the Sexorcist. But here's the front piece. Check that out. That's sick as fuck, right? And then, yeah, cruising back over down the hall. Cruising down the hall. Here's old school flyers for Morsid. Lots of different posters. Check out this Kelly. This is a badass guitar, but I stripped it down and am in process of sanding it and like redoing the finish of it. But that was pretty cool. This is my very first guitar that I got in 6th grade for $75. And it's a Harmony Flying V. And I begged my mom to get it. It was $75. I ended up getting it. And look how old this is now. It's still here, still in my collection. And a lot of these posters everywhere you'll see are like autographed. Like here's Faster Pussycat. Tammy autographed that one to me. And this is the jam room. So we could jam out in here, record in here. There's the control room you just saw. There's the drum riser. And then these things are pretty cool. I scored these from the dude from Motley 2, or no, not Motley 2, another Motley Crue tribute band. And you step on them and they light up. So I scored these from him. And once his band broke up, I was like, hey, dude, you still have those lights? And he's like, yeah. So I go, how much can I buy them from you for? And he gave me a killer deal. So I went down to Phoenix and picked those up. Lots of room. Usually where I shred my other half stacks over at Al's Pad where we rehearse. This is where our rhythm guitarist plays, our drummer. This is just an electronic kit. But you could totally get up here. There's my first flying V, or my second flying V, first jacks. And then this one you have to be careful getting up in here. But once you get up in here, it's pretty sick. And this is the drum set. So you can pretty much like jam out. And this is all electronic. So pretty cool. And then there's the bass. And it's cool kind of being elevated. So like I'd stand over there and then rhythm guitar here, or bass player here, rhythm guitar here. You have to watch when you get down. Don't want to bite the dust. But yeah, so hope you like the little studio tour. Now it's time to do some recording. I don't know if I can do it like that. Okay, and we'll do part 2 recording once I get this all set up. Rock on.